Good night, wherever you are. As usual, brothers and sisters, we want to say good evening to all, each, every, all, and the sundry that is present here tonight. And in our normal format, we'll start with a prayer by our brother, Harrisford Macmillan. Could you please stand with us?
Good night, everyone. Tonight we want to pray, we want to honor God, we want to look to God because He has all the answers and He will give us the best answer. So let's bow our heads, and you don't have to close your eyes, but bow your heads and let's pray. Father, we thank you. We thank you for bringing us here tonight, God. We thank you for this weather, Lord, this beautiful weather you have given to us this afternoon, oh God, to guide us, to take our paths from step to step, and to help us to do your will. Let your will be done in our lives, oh God. Not only us, but all the people of Tobago and Trinidad. Let your will be done tonight, oh God. We bless you, we bless you, we bless you, God. We look to you because you are our God, our Savior, our leader. You will lead us into the paths of righteousness for your name's sake. So, God, we thank you for bringing us and keeping us in good health. I pray for every person in our audience standing here, listening, whether you're near or far. I pray for every person who is listening, looking, hearing, oh God, touch their lives, touch our lives, touch every person's life, that they will commit to you and put you first and foremost. Oh God, we lead you. We thank you, God. We thank you for our party, not just politics, but Tobago's People Party. This is it, Tobago's People Party. We are about Tobago's business. Lord, the name alone tells us, oh God, that you have given us to us. The name you have given to us tells us that you care for us in Tobago. So, God, we lift up the people of Tobago with the Tobago's People Party, God. Touch every life in every village, and especially tonight in Signal Hill, Patience Hill, and environment. Every life, old, young, small, big, every person. Touch us all and help us to come to you and to do your will, Father. Lord, we thank you for the leaders you have given us in our party, God. Those, oh God, the chief secretary, the executive, all the leaders you have given to us, oh God, we thank you. You have been so good to us from day to day, from time to time, we cannot forget. But most of all, God, we thank you for the leader, the executive, but also for the candidate you have given to us in Signal Hill, Patience Hill, and environment. Such a beautiful gentleman by the name of Nigel Tate. Oh God, a man who looks down. He doesn't always look up, he looks down. He comes down and he tries to help anybody that he could help. Bless him, oh God. Bless him with success. Bless him with victory. And help him to continue to be the man you have made him to be, oh God. We thank you tonight. We lift thee up, oh God. And let this night service be a tremendous success, that the whole of Tobago will benefit from what we are having in Signal Hill, Patience Hill, and environment. Have your own way, God. Have your own way In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Macmillan, for those prayer and supplication. Brothers and sisters, at this time, I'm asking you to join us as we observe 1 minute of silence, 1 minute of silence for our fallen brother, Elandro Norrie. Thank you for your kind consideration. May his soul rest in peace. We now have, brothers and sisters, the national anthem. It will be played on the national instrument by our brother, Glenford Norrie. Thank you, Brother Norrie. Skill, talent, gift. Chairman of the Tobago People's Party, Sister Anne Natasha II. Political leader of the Tobago People's Party, the Honorable Fali Chavez Augustine. Deputy political leaders of the Tobago People's Party, Assemblyman Dr. Faith Brebner, Trevor Williamson James, and Natisha Charles Pantin. All of the members of the executive of the Tobago People's Party, secretaries, assistant secretaries, members of parliament for Tobago East and West, the Honorable Messrs. David, Joseph Thomas, and Joel Marcus Sampson. All of the members of the Tobago People's Party. This evening, brothers and sisters, we also want to recognize the Tobago Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and thank them for their service throughout all our meetings. I have heard even the police is gone blue. To every version of the media that's here with us this evening, brothers and sisters, the mainstream media, the social media, the electronic and all other formats. Good evening and welcome. Tobago people, brothers and sisters, we are in the second round of the segment where we endorse our candidates and our candidates report to us what they have been doing over the period. You see, brothers and sisters, when we come, when we meet, your overwhelming support must be converted to a vote on Monday, 12th January 2026.
You respect that? You respect that?
You see, brothers and sisters, remember, you in the electoral district of Signal Hill Patient Cell. Today is Monday, the 29th day of December 2025, and you are live at the Signal Hill multi-purpose facilities. This is where talent, gift, competence reaches in one place. At this point in time, we are asking the Jabali entertainers to warm up their instruments. Warm up their instruments. They're going to give us, they're going to start the ball rolling. Yeah, the rhythm. Yeah, the rhythm. The Jabali entertainers. Warm yourself in the rhythm tonight. Live at Signal Hill. My name is Lance Rodriguez. I am your host for tonight. And we're here to entertain, educate, elevate, and emancipate. Rhythm at Signal Hill. Yeah, the rhythm. Thank you to the Jabali entertainers. That's what you call rhythm. Rhythm. Let's hear it for Jabali.
You respect that.
Brothers and sisters, as we continue the program, we have a man in the southwesterly area, a man that's walking the ground, a man that's inside the community and dealing with the people in such a way we hear that there is a blue wave and new energy in the Plymouth Black Rock area. Coming to endorse his brethren and colleague is our brother, Alexis!
Black Rock and Plymouth, we have some hope, cause the TPP get me full support, and that's why Colonel Alexis can get me vote. And Colonel Alexis not looking back. Plymouth and Black Rock on the right track. All the issues we got deal with that. Give Fred a chance and taking it back. Good governance and deal with the facts. Go about it will make an impact. He come to work and not to relax. And the people not turning back. And oriented, gonna the procedure. Representation, Barton is a leader. Empowering the mind, resilient by nature. Colonel Alexis is the man. Well, show me your call as blue and anchor. Blue and anchor. It's blue and anchor. Blue and anchor. It's blue and anchor. Blue and anchor. Blue and anchor.
Good night, good night, good night. Good night, Patience in Signal Hill. Good night, my TPP family. Good night, Tobago. Tobago is weak. Nigel, Mighty Man Tate is weak. Thank you for coming out tonight. This is a very special moment for me. It's a special moment for all of us. We at a momentous time in the history of Tobago, and we cannot take it lightly. Patience in Signal Hill, we on the 12th of January 2026 will be called upon to make a very serious decision. And we say to you, don't take that decision lightly. Be wise. Be wise. We are not only going out there to vote for a candidate, we are going out there to vote for representation. A very important word. Representation for Tobagonians and for Tobago people. I am about to endorse a man who knows about representation, who have been a leader, and who will continue being an amazing leader. That man, we all know him. The mighty man, Nigel Tate. Tate, where you at, man? Ladies and gentlemen, true representation is not about talk. It's not about no small talk and them kind of things. It's really about service. It's about somebody who knows the community and who have been delivering to the community time and time again for many years. Nigel Tate, ladies and gentlemen. Representation should be somebody, a representative should be somebody who is always on the ground, who is connected, who is honest, who knows about hard work and who have been given hard work time and time again. I know Nigel Tate before I even met the guy. When I went to Bishop's High School, I used to play football. I wasn't the best. I wasn't like Nigel and them. But I used to play football. And every footballer from Signal Hill to Patience Hill would mention Nigel Tate's name. But I see Nigel pass the ball, so let me see if I could bend it like Nigel. Even before it had bend it like Beckham, it had bend it like Nigel. It has stamina. Nigel Tate, strong man in the defense.
You respect that?
Strong man striking. A utility player. And that is what we got from him in the TPP. A utility player. When you need him, he shows up. I moved up to Signal Hill, Tranquility Heights. I lived with my uncle, Alva Barton, and then we had an uncle up there who used to play pan as well, Western. And when it was pan time, the man there with the iron in the back, the iron man, the energy room in the engine room, Nigel Tate. When I have my little business up the road by Bob there, before I even move up there, everybody tell me, boy, Nigel gonna know what to do, boy. Call Nigel. Nigel is the man. Nigel is the man. Nigel is the man. Nigel. So every single body from Signal Hill to Patience Hill understood. He knows how to lead. He knows how to represent. Every funeral it had, Nigel was the person there, giving the support, helping the people and them who have been mourning. Anybody will tell you he is a man who understands people. He is a man who loves his community. No matter what is taking place, Nigel is there for us. No matter what is taking place. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what we need. Representation that has substance. Representation that is connected. Representation that loves its community. Nigel Tate gives us that. Tate understands leadership is earned. It is not something that is granted to you. It is earned. So when it comes to the talk about, if you become an assistant secretary, you mightn't get this done, Nigel has disabused the minds of Tobagonians and letting us know, don't matter where they put you, once you have love for your community, it is going to happen.
You respect that? You respect that?
He is someone who I look up to see how a representative should be. He is someone who all of us should look up to see what a leader should be. A leader in his community, a leader in his job, a leader in his home, a leader for himself, not somebody who just showing up when it's election time to say, well, oh God, pick me. He has been doing this long before he thought about election.
You respect that?
That is why a seasoned politician came here and lost. It's not magic. It's hard work. It's dedication. It's love. It's understanding the community that you're going up for. That is what Nigel Tate gives us. And that is what he's going to continue to give us. That is why we are going to continue to support that man called Nigel Tate.
You respect that? You respect that?
We must be wise, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fall for the song bites. Don't fall for the misinformation. Don't fall for the fancy thing and the passing this and that and the other. Don't fall for them things. They think Tobago and Tobagonians foolish. We must prove to them that we are not. We must prove to them that we understand the importance of representation. Because the Tobago's People Party is representing us from in Tobago, not from overseas, sending information here for you to read something and then to present to us. This is a Tobago party. This is a party built by the Tobago's people, for Tobago people, in Tobago. And that's why we are going to stand with the TPP come January 12, 2026. That's why we're going to stand with Nigel Tate come January 12, 2026. That's why we're going to stand all together on January 12, 2026 to make Tobago the greatest little island on this planet.
You respect that? You respect
and bring home all 15 seats early. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. We are Tobago. Tobago is we. Nigel Tate is we. And I endorse Nigel Tate 100%. 100%. And I know he's going to bring it home for Signal Hill, Patience Hill. We love you.
Don't take an Alexis for no joke. Not a problem, but we have some hope. Cause the DPP get me full support. And that's why Colonel Lexica get me vote. And Colonel Lex not looking back. Remote and Rock on the right track. On the issues we don't deal with that. Give Fred a chance and taking it back. Good governance and deal with impacts. Global the whole week in black. He come to work and not to relax. And the people not turning back. And no reality. Could do the procedure. Representation.
Thank you, Brother Kurt. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, each night we appear at these meetings. Each night we turn out. There are some things that we must focus on. What is this January 12th, 2026 Tobago House of Assembly election about? What is it about? What is the root of this election? Brothers and sisters, we must remember that this election dated January 12, 2026 is about Tobagonians. Those of us who have a birthright in this place, going to the polls, we engage in the democratic process, and we are selecting a group of persons to manage our day-to-day affairs. Tobagonians are not second to any in qualification, capacity, and abilities. So the Tobago People's Party represent a Tobago-centric group of persons committed towards the growth and development of Tobago.
You respect that? You respect that?
We have some persons who also endures or enjoys a birthright. But their philosophy is we want someone outside of Tobago to run Tobago business. And we reject that.
You respect
This is why, brothers and sisters, we are what you call the blue wave. This is our philosophy. We are able to fix our own business. So I've been researching the leaders of these two parties. So when I look up, brothers and sisters, I'm seeing a party whose headquarters is #1 Tranquility Street, Port of Spain. What we doing with foreigners in our space? And when I research the Tobago People's Party, I am seeing headquarters, Port Mall, Scarborough, Tobago.
You respect that? You respect that?
We are able, brothers and sisters, come in to continue the endorsement for your candidate. Nigel Tate is a candidate. He's the sitting assembly, can't be sitting. He's the working assemblyman, current representative, a worker man, a sportsman, a talker man, a kind of man, a action man, no other from Lambo Lowlands, the doctor of philosophy, Wayne was Clark in the house.
The philosophy which old one rates superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war.
Signal Hill, good night. Signal Hill, good night. Patience Hill, good night. Tobago, good night. The political leader of the Tobago People's Party, Farley Chavez Augustine, deputy political leaders, Natisha Charles Pantin, Faith Brebner, and Trevor Williamson James. Chairman of the party, Miss Ann Natasha II, fellow candidates, and most importantly, the people who make the meeting what it is night in, night out. You wonderful people, a pleasant good night. Brothers and sisters, this couple weeks going into the 12th
is a very serious time. And we need to keep focus. We need to keep our eyes on the prize. We need to understand what the mission is, and we must complete this mission come January 12th. There is a few things that has been said in this space. I know I come to endorse Tate, but he has some things. I just have to address a couple of them tonight. When is my night? I go finish, but I go start tonight. When we had our meeting in Lambo, the other side had their meeting also in Lambo that night. And the former assemblyman, Mr. Pitt, went up and said a lot of things about me that just wasn't true. But I never see Mr. Pitt as a bacchanal and commerce man, but like he want to change how I look at him. Like he want to join the others in the party that he say he love. He said that I shut down the Lalon Garden Fund. If Mr. Pitt was really out and circulating in Tobago, he and all gonna know his stupidness he talking. Because over the past 2 to 3 years, I could assure you that we have pumped more money into that fund more than anybody else ever did. We have supported athletes and organizations in Tobago more than they ever did. So that is one. He said that in his 8 years, he never got Carifta. And in 4 years, I got 3 times. I ever stop him from going? If he wants to stay home, that is up to he. I took the initiative to take the parents of the children of Tobago who were on that national team, and I just thought it was the decent thing to accompany them. Let us all do this together, because in the Tobago People's Party, we just do things together. It's together we just do things. And to show you how this initiative grew over 3 years. The first year to Jamaica, we took about 8 or 9 parents. The following year in the Bahamas, he went to 15. It simply means that was 15 Tobago children who got on the team. And in Grenada the following year, I can't even remember the number. All I know, he keep rising. It's just like the Tobago People's Party. He just keep rising and rising. So if I choose to carry the parents of the children who made the team, which Mr. Pitt never see it possible to do. He never thought that was important. But I know when you have children involved in things, it's important that you turn up at times for them. And if you can't afford it, we're going to make it possible for you to turn up.
You respect that? You respect that?
If it's one true thing he said in Lambo was that it's cheap. But it's truth. And I'm going to explain to you. He so take this cheapness to heart. And he's talking about all the initiatives that they did and what they put out, and trying to paint a narrative that I shut them down. This administration only work to uplift Tobago and Tobago people. The former regime, they bought a board floor for basketball. And that floor stayed locked up in the cultural complex in a room for 7 years. And our children having to be up and down in the rain and sun, down on the hard court in Shaw Park, rocking out the knee, going through all kind of things, a little rainfall, the competition had a scrap until some other day. And we have a state-of-the-art board floor decaying in a room in the cultural complex. Well, when I hear about it, you know it was all over. I went up by the cultural complex and I used what language was necessary to let them know this floor belongs to Tobago people and Tobago people have to use it. We want the floor out, we want it down, and we want it now. And since then, When we presented that floor, we put it down and presented it to the media. I'm sure some of you could recall. But what was strange about that was the night when we presented the floor during the day, the night I got a call from someone overseas. I don't know the man. I never see the man. I never talk to the man. But the man called me and tell me congratulations. I said, how you get me number? He said, when people want something, let us find it. The man said, I want to congratulate you because I was the person who sourced that floor for the THA. And when I was about to ship the floor, he asked them about the rings because that came with the floor, the basketball rings. And he said, I tell him, we didn't want a ring. We didn't ask you for a ring. We asked you for a floor. So right along, all along, it was never their intention that the people at Tobago should make use of that floor. Up to now, probably Mr. Pitt should tell me why they purchased the floor. He should tell me that. But I am happy to tell you tonight that the Commonwealth Games took place on the floor. Up to recently, a couple months ago, National Secondary School Championship took place inside there on that floor. So, despite what they choose to say, Mr. Pitt, I don't know, that was really prophetic when they choose your name. You go stay in that pit, in that political pit, and you start to get like the rest of your colleagues, spewing lies and making propaganda on people. But you could make all the propaganda you want. You could make all the propaganda you want. The people at Tobago make their mind up. So propaganda ain't changing we. Propaganda ain't turning we back. Propaganda ain't had no place in this election. Because come January the 12th, the people at Tobago will speak, and that wouldn't be no propaganda. Another thing he said, that I was in America taking pictures with my friends and family with the THA money. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Pitt, something. Yes, I went to America, but I went to America with my money because I have a proper paying job in the THA, and not everything the THA had to pay for. I went. I could have been like you and your colleagues. I could have found a way to let the THA pay for me, but I wasn't going on THA business. And a further thing I want to dispel tonight. He said that they had a MOU with St. Vincent, and I scrap it. This man really living in a pit. Because down in a pit, he doesn't know what's going on the surface. But I could assure you that come January 12th, you're going to get plenty company down in the pit. That incident that you want to refer to, let me tell you, I went to St. Vincent a couple months ago. The same MOU is saying that I scrap. I went to St. Vincent on instruction of our chief secretary because that thing took place on a Saturday and we know his religious beliefs. So he sent me. And the thing comes so sudden on me. Let me tell you the truth. You know, to go and conduct THA business, you know, is I pay out of my pocket to go and never sought to get no refund. I did that because the people at Tobago invested in me, and every now and then I got to show gratitude towards that investment. That MOU, I went to St. Vincent, got to St. Vincent 11 o'clock the night, and 11 o'clock the morning I was on the airport getting back to Tobago because we had business to see about. We had a battle to win. And we was campaigning for the general election. And the quick trip back was worth it because you know what the result was in the general election. There are some other things that he talked about. I can't address everything tonight because tonight and about me tonight is about Nigel Tate. But until we reach again, when I'm going to be talking about more of the things that he said, the lies that they're trying to peddle. Listen, regardless of Joe Moore cheap and whatnot, I never expect Joe Moore to be part of this. But they say a drunken man will catch at a straw. When desperation time here, anything will happen. When you have an organization that don't know where they're heading, any road go do. And the people that are accustomed being stable and talking things that sometimes make sense, they just turn to lies because they realize are surrounded by lies. Accompanying people who just tell lie. So you better just fall in and tell lie too. But Joe Moore, I could tell you something. You choose to put my name in lies. I run against you already. Yes, I lost. But I know it wasn't the end of me. I know that the good Lord didn't deny me, just delay me. He delayed me for a time like this. And so far in this election, I have an opponent that I never even call his name. I never even mention him. Because he is not important to me. The people at Tobago is important to me. And I will continue focusing on the Tobago People's Party and getting Tobago where Tobago needs to be. So I ain't no time for no small talk. And if they want to tell lie, let them go ahead. Let them go ahead. The results go show all the lies that they want to tell. They said that we build a facility in Corland. And this man had the goal to come and say how in other countries that has built temporary thing and after the games break it down and go their way. How can you develop a sport or develop anything if you don't have a facility to do so? How can you do it? You see, there is not about developing. That is why we get so much resistance when we was building the facility in Corland. But I could tell you all the resistance they're trying to put up. They could put up how much resistance they want. Every day that the sun go down and the sun come up, January 12 getting closer, and the resistance could be a thing of the past. It could be a thing of the past. Let me get to the business at hand. Signan Hill, Patience Hill. You have somebody in whom not only you, but our Chief Secretary is well pleased. Nigel Tate is a man for this mission. Nigel Tate is a man for this job. Nigel Tate is a man that has been leading you for the past 4 years and will continue to lead the people at Signan Hill, Patience Hill. They could bring who they want. They could bring who they want. And it's no contest because Tate is the best. Out of all the candidates on show, Tate is the best. Tate has demonstrated that he could walk with you, he could do what he had to do with the people, for the people. Tate is a man that will get a second term to continue his journey. Signan Hill, Patience Hill, you have a wonderful candidate. You have a good person in Nigel Tate. Even though they rhyme, quite up in the country in Belgarden we have Faith, and down in Signan Hill we have Tate. I know that Tate is a winner. Tate gonna cross the line first come January the 12th. Tate gonna get us home. Tate gonna get us across the line. And if it is up to Nigel Tate to get us across the line, then you could count on that victory because Nigel Tate will get us there. Many times, we have things to get done in this constituency. And Nigel Tate will come to me. Well, when he come, I always just take a step back. Because when I watch his size, I say, if he even overbalance and drop on me, I'm done with. But let you don't overbalance and drop on me. like the 12th of January, he got drop on Harris or Paris or what his name, and he gonna be all over with them. He gonna be all over. So come January the 12th, brothers and sisters. Come January the 12th, the job have to be completed. Come January the 12th, we have to stay focused. Come January the 12th, we have to stay sober. Don't get tied up with the motorcade. We could drive and blow horn after. Let me go and vote, and then we could celebrate. Remember November 19th some years ago with football. We celebrate first and then cry after. Well, no, we ain't doing that. We go do the work. We go and vote. And then we could celebrate. Who want to cry, cry. We know who gonna be crying. But we gonna be laughing, we gonna be jumping, and we gonna be celebrating, saying that victory belongs to the people of Tobago. The Tobago People's Party will march to victory come the 12th of January. And Signal Hill, Patience Hill, you have a man that's gonna lead the way. Tate is gonna lead the way. Tate is gonna take us to victory. Tate is gonna take us where we want to be. I know you have a candidate in whom you are well pleased. Nigel Tate is a pleasing candidate to the people of Signal Hill, Patience Hill. Nigel Tate does sacrifice a lot for the people of Signal Hill, Patience Hill. Nigel Tate is the only man to take Signal Hill, Patience Hill into the next 4 years. Signal Hill, Patience Hill, wave your flag for Nigel Tate, because I'm telling you, with his size, we know we're in good hand. Wave your flag for Nigel Tate. Nigel Tate is the man who gonna do what nobody else. You know the last time when they sent up, when they watch Tate size, they said let us send the political leader down here. I don't know if they didn't realize the size of Tate. Tate roll over that woman can't even surface up to today. So, I have no doubt in my mind, absolutely no doubt, that you, the people of Signal Hill, Patience Hill, has made a choice that you will be pleased. And you can march behind your candidate to wherever we're going to celebrate on the 9th of January, the 12th. Nigel Tate going to be bringing in, and I guarantee you, this will be the first seat that has been declared. This Signal Hill, Patience Hill. Because when you watch Nigel Tate, when he's going up to the polls to cast a vote, I guarantee you the next man gonna get out the way. He ain't want no running with Tate. So vote for the Tobago People's Party come the 12th of January. Vote for Nigel Tate. Do the second time around, they say when it's nice, do it twice. And you're going to do it for Nigel Tate once more. And Tate is going to do it for the people of Tobago. Brothers and sisters, there is no other way. I thank you for coming out tonight. I thank you for standing with Nigel Tate. I thank you for standing with the Tobago People's Party. And I thank you and ask you to stay the course. Stay the course with us. Keep focused. Don't get sidetracked with the old talk. Just do what you have to do. And come January 12th, we're going to go out and vote for the Tobago People's Party. And we're going to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. We're going to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet, because we have one of the greatest candidates for Signal Hill, Patience Hill, Nigel Tate. I thank you, brothers and sisters.
Until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war.
Brothers and sisters, let's hear it for your representative for Lambo Lowlands. Brothers and sisters, I want to have a sober conversation with you. I am reading an excerpt from the Daily Express. It's dated June 25th, 2012. The reporter is Elizabeth Williams from the Tobago Bureau. This is an excerpt from the Daily Express. 7 years late, the Victor Bruce complex. That's the headline. And I read, I quote, "The long-awaited Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex in Scarborough, Tobago, was finally delivered last Monday. 7 years late and $81 million TT over budget. The complex was started in 2004 and was supposed to be completed in time for the 2005 Tobago House of Assembly election. The project cost at the time for the project was $22 million. The project was actually, or rather has actually been completed at a cost of $103 million over budget." This, end of quote. Brothers and sisters, this is the track record of those who are asking you to put them first again. This is the track record of the Red Party. This is the track record of the party wherein A.N.R. Robinson was a founding member since 1956, tried all his best to deliver for Tobago, and he walked out of that Red Party in 1971, came home, formed the Democratic Action Congress, then him to the National Alliance for Reconstruction, and he toppled the Red government in 1986. Brothers and sisters, there is a time that Tobago has to be conscious. We must remember the track record of those who are asking to be our representatives in the Tobago space, and tell them none of that. Even the sky is blue. Even the sky is blue. There is nothing, brothers and sisters, in Tobago that has been recognized red and good, except for some other things we'll discuss another night. But red, brothers and sisters, must be rejected left, right, center, up, down, and all over. Brothers and sisters, you are reminded, these are some of the factors that complements our reason, and we are reminded, in spite of the electoral district or the polling division wherein you reside, all you need to look for, brothers and sisters, is the symbol of the. You may not be able to vote for the person you will like to directly, but a vote for the anchor is a vote for the one you wish to represent you. Brothers and sisters, is a vote for the integrity and the perseverance of the Tobago spirit. Tobago has long decided. Tobago has already decided that blue is the code. And when like that, let us take it to the Lord in prayer. Brothers and sisters, as we continue the endorsement of our candidate, Nigel Tate, for the electoral district of Signal Hill, Patience Hill, we are reminded, brothers and sisters, that your vote is sacred. Your vote at this time, brothers and sisters, determines how Tobago continue to progress. Your vote for the anchor, brothers and sisters, is the next step to emancipate Tobago from the claws of the Red Devils. At this time, we're going to take a joint snippet of entertainment from both the DJ and the Jabali entertainers. We're going to take an interlude of some music, some rhythm, as we prepare to bring our candidate, your candidate, to the lectern. So we're going, let me hear the DJ.
It's Juve, on top of Juve. It's a nasty thing.
Rhythm side.
It's a nasty thing. All you started,
Rhythm.
up the traffic. Let me turn nothing to magic.
2 minutes.
The iron and the music.
2 minutes.
Promise to tonic. Cause all of them go jumpy with we. Blue devil and jump malassie. Today they go say we nasty. Why? I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Paint and oil, rub it all over.
2 minutes is yours.
I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Chop chop come from up Grenada. So let me get dirty together. Don't afraid to go down low, go down low. Play up in your so and so in your with people you do not know, cause it's Juve in your pressure. Don't afraid to go down low, go down low. Play up in your so and so in your with people you do not know, cause it's Juve in your pressure. Start it, bring out the posy. I love how she wrong and she rosy. Bending she back like she bossy. I'm going on top like a Yoshi. Cause all of them go jumpy with we. Blue devil and jump malassie. Today they go say we nasty. Why? I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Paint and oil, rub it all over. Let me get money together. I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Chop chop come from up Grenada. So let me get dirty together. Don't afraid to go down low, go down low. Play up in your so and so in your with people you do not know, cause it's Juve in your pressure. Don't afraid to go down low, go down low. Play up in your so and so in your with people you do not know, cause it's Juve in your pressure.
When you hear the horn song, all about the TPP ship. Tobago, it is your time now. All about the TPP ship. There is no need to worry. All about the TPP ship. We're sailing with Captain Valley. All about the TPP ship. We're sailing with TPP, oh. We're riding them waves to the shore. In turbulence, rain or storm. Anchor down, we be anchored down. We're sailing to autonomy. We're riding with Team TPP. In turbulence, rain or storm. Anchor down, we be anchored down. I see a change is coming. All about the TPP. Autonomy on the horizon. All about the TPP. Gather your friends and family. All about the TPP. There's room for everybody. All about the TPP. We're sailing with TPP, oh. We're riding them waves to the shore. In turbulence.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, tonight I want to tell you about a man whose life has been about perseverance, discipline, and unwavering community upliftment. This gentleman, this mighty man, was born on August 3rd, 1972, in a vibrant community known as Piccadilly, Signal Hill. This gentleman, brothers and sisters, later moved to Patience Hill, an area that is known to us as Rockers. All the Rockers massive in the house! You see, at Rockers is where the people, brothers and sisters, the culture, the spirit, and the village of Rockers became, brothers and sisters, his identity. He made his home, and probably Rockers would have influenced him with a beautiful wife and 3 children. So I'm seeing one, I don't know if that's one of the motives for heading to Rockers. This gentleman strongly believes in setting goals, yet pursuing them with determination and purpose, even in the face of obstacles. As a matter of fact, he has embraced the philosophy, obstacles is the way. He has been known in the community, brothers and sisters, as that stalwart, that moving, that energizer bunny. In his tenure as the assemblyman and area representative, he has pursued the Patience Hill lighting of the field. He insisted that it must happen, and he delivered. Brothers and sisters, he remained deep and rooted in the community. A big man with a big heart. Brothers and sisters, this man we're speaking about is one who has conversation with all and sundry. As a matter of fact, even the pets yield to him. Even the pets. He continues to fight and champion the cause. He represents, brothers and sisters, he demonstrates the attribute of a true community man. He has overcome challenges. He's a man that has demonstrated leadership qualities. Brothers and sisters, anywhere close, he calls home. A true child of the village, he carries a heart, brothers and sisters, that is as deep and is as wide. We need to have a cardiologist inspect the heart. We don't know how such a big heart, well, I guess it's a big man. Brothers and sisters, he's what you call homegrown. He's what you call homemade. He's the true representation of organic. Brothers and sisters, who know him is who you don't know. Who does not know this man is who we don't know. He born here and he rooted here. His loyalty to community, brothers and sisters. The life he lives, what he demonstrates. I ask in the rhythm section to start the passage of this man as he journeys, as he approaches this lectern tonight. The rhythm section will introduce you to this man, brothers and sisters. Mighty man, man from the hill, man who is home. Let me hear the rhythm as we introduce to you Nigel Tate, your representative, your assemblyman who has worked and will be returning. man to finish the work. Let's hear it.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. Good.
One love,
Thank
one
God,
love.
thank God. Pleasant good night to my TPP family. Let me acknowledge the leader of this great party, Farley Chavez Augustine, our Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Let me also acknowledge our deputies, Natisha Charles Spanton, Dr. Faith Brebner, and Trevor Williamson James. Let me also acknowledge the chairman of the party, Ms. Natisha Ann Second, and all other executive members, all other candidates vying for the THA election for this TPP party. Let me acknowledge the persons of this beautiful district we call Signal Hill, Pace and Sill. Now, my district also comprises of Orange Hill, Spring Garden, part of Union, part of Lambeau. I must acknowledge certain persons also. My loving wife. Yeah, she surprised me tonight, day boy. She bring out some jersey there. Have no fear, Tate is here.
You respect that.
And all the other supporters, I want to say thank you so much. I want to acknowledge someone who helped guide me in 2021. She was there by my side, and she helped lead the way for victory for me, Mr. Neil Jack.
You respect that. You respect that.
And I want to also take this opportunity for the Norris family. as today supposed to be, or was, Mr. Leandro's Norrie's birthday. So Cathy and Larry, my heart are with you all. Yeah? I want to start off by reading a psalm. And if you all know the psalm, you all can help me. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bring forth his fruit in season. Its leaf shall not wither, but whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the shaft which the wind drives it away. Will you help me now? Will you help me?
Respect that.
Huh? All right, I got Andy. Tonight is a night. I want to thank you, the people of this electoral district, and Tobago in general. Because come January 12th, 2026, we must have 15 seats to bring home. And I was listening to my brother that spoke before me, Brother Wasp, and he was talking about the amount of lies that are being said within this space. Now, if I was in the house, you can't use the word lie because that is unparliamentary language. But they are speaking a lot of untruths. They are speaking false. They are speaking fibs. They are trying to fool people to believe they're not lies, they're untruths. And I want to guide Tobagonians. Listen carefully to when our chief secretary is talking and when he's debunking all those set of false that they're saying. I stood in the crowd here a while ago, and a lady came up to me and asked me, she said, Mr. Tate, are they going to send home URP workers and CPEP workers? I told her, no, that is untruth. So they are spreading propaganda and making a lot of mischief in this Tobago space to fool or try to fool the people in Tobago to vote for them. But that ain't gonna happen. Because here what? We're big and we have sense. And we supposed to know what is truth from what is false. Because we know about God. We know about God, not so? And part of the scripture said, thou shalt not lie or tell false whatsoever. And I want Tobagonians to believe that nobody will be sent home. Nobody working on a URP and nobody working on CPEP. I remember the MP, Mr. Joel Sampson for Tobago West. And let me also acknowledge David Thomas in the crowd also. Good night, sir. I remember when Joel was the secretary of the division and he raised their salary. So if you're raising people's salary, you're going to send them home? Does it make sense? All right. So don't be fooled by the propaganda that they are spreading. Now, I want to show all of something, right? You see, where the chairs there? That's where the stage is? This is a roadway. And if only see this roadway here before, those who live in Signal Hill will know what I'm speaking about. Watch at it now, smooth. You can play cricket on this now. You can play small goal football on this now. I have documentation here in this file to prove where I have sent the documents to works to get this road paved and over. But on the streets, I'm hearing different. That is them saying that it's them do the road. How can you do a road and not in power? Tell me. Lies again. It's all kind of stories they're making up, trying to confuffle the brains of we Tobagonians. But we know better than that. We know better than that. Right? As your area representative, I take this responsibility very serious. Leadership is something that I cannot approach casually. It requires commitments, dedication, consistency, and most of all, understanding and serving the people that put me here. Because if it wasn't for you all going out and vote, I would not have been here for today. And I want to continue the journey that I am on. And I'm going to ask some questions. But not right now, just now. The water issues that we are experiencing in this electoral district, I have built a relationship with WASA, management of WASA. So if you have a leak, we have a shortage of water in an area, I make phone calls, communicate with them, and they will come and deal with it. And my intention is to continue to deal with it so that we will have proper water supply in this area. We respect that. Roadworks. I know I've been championing a cause for the Georges residents, Guinea Hill, Orange Hill Main Road, that Graham Road that leads up to by Coxie, Carparts Place, Mentor Drive, and some of the personal driveways that lead to the person's home. I'm going to continue to champion that cause for you, my people, because that is what you put me here for, to serve all you. And I'll continue to be the humble servant that I am. That's me. You see that bridge in Spring Garden? You see that bridge in Spring Garden? I will continue to write, and I'll continue to fight, and I'll continue to beg to get that bridge done for you, the people in Spring Garden, and for all those that traverse that bridge on a daily basis. I'm going to continue to fight for that for you all. And let me ask you that question. Who is the best person to continue that journey there for that bridge? Tell me. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Who? You ain't coming, boy. I want to take this opportunity also to commend our Chief Secretary and the members of the executive for putting lights on Paysansale football field for me and for the residents of the electoral district.
You respect that. You respect that. You respect that.
I have some plans also in going forward. Under culture, I intend to work with our Steel Pan, West Side Steel Orchestra, and Natural Mystic. I'm going to assist in whatsoever way possible so that they can get some new instruments so that they can participate in all panorama competitions, all pan competitions.
You respect that? You respect that?
In education, I'm going to continue to work with all the schools within my electoral district, from the preschools to the primary schools and to the secondary schools. I'm going to work hard to make sure that the children that attend these schools achieve their goals. Even those who make it and receive scholarships, I personally willing to support each and every one of you all. And out of my pocket, I'm going to do so.
You respect that? You respect that?
The churches and all religious groups within my district, I'm also willing to work with you all to bring some form of godliness to we the people in this electoral district. Our village councils, I have two, one in Signal Hill, one in Patience Hill. I'm going to work with the Secretary of ComDev to have some form of upgrade to these community centers. My word is my bond. And when I talk, I just make things happen. You see my size? I intend to have some play parks within my electoral districts. Signal Hill, Patience Hill, Spring Garden. And I know Spring Garden does say we're doing things and we're leaving them out. No, Spring Garden, I ain't leaving all you out. All the inside. Spring Garden Trades Union, all the inside. And the part of Lambo there too, all the inside with me. I'm going to continue to work hard for each and every one of you all.
You respect that? You respect that?
My hamper distribution, I'm going to continue that. Not just for Christmas, but throughout the entire year, as our custom doing. And for those who don't know, I have a little program going on where I assist the elderly folks in my district to seek medical attention. I use my vehicle, or sometimes I hire a car to take persons who need assistance, medical assistance. Persons in Patience Hill traverse to Bethel to go to clinic. When they don't have transportation, they reach out to me. And I personally assist them. And I'm going to continue that.
You respect that? You respect
I am going to continue that because the elders are the ones who paved the way for us all here. And we must not forget them, especially when coming to medical attention, seeking medical attention. Yeah? I also have a helping hand crew. My intention with my helping hand crew is to help develop programs within this district, because some of the persons in that crew, they are tradesmen. So we can have classes on afternoon to teach some of the youths masonry, carpentry, electronics, air conditioning. We already had the discussions, and each and every one answered and said, yes, they are on board. So we are coming with that also. Don't worry, these shower blessings, I'm going to take it. And when the blessings come January 12th, so I get to dirty my finger and vote for the TPP party. So don't run from the rain. Just make sure I'll get shade. I also want to make a commitment that I'm going to continue to be on the ground with my people. I'm going to assist in every way that I can. Be it in bereavement, if you lost someone, a loved one, if you have a wedding, you have a birthday, I'm going to assist.
You respect that?
Because God blessed me with these hands. And with these hands, I love to cook. So anybody who needs assistance to cook food for any of these events, call on Tatos. Tatos is here and my team will come and assist also.
You respect that? You respect that?
I will remain committed to my words to the people of this electoral district.
You respect that?
I will stay humble as I am. Although they say all kind of things about me just good and just me, also them thing there. The good book says, render your heart and not your garment. And I want to just tell us something too, and I want to listen to this carefully, right? If you can't take talks, don't get into politics. You see, I went amongst St. George Youth Camp. And when you're amongst persons, your age group, and them boys want to heckle you, sometimes you're going to feel to cry. So everybody just heckle me about my color. I mean, I just study that, man. And then I went onto Port Police, where we served time again in a dormitory. And boy, when you're among person like Spence and them every day, every night was talks. But it is one thing I learned to understand, that God made me in his own likeness and his own image. So, all I could walk the ground and say, oh, I can't about Nigel Tate, and say, oh, I can't about Nigel Tate and the color. It doesn't bother Nigel Tate because me black.
You respect that?
And me proud to be black.
You respect that? You respect that? You respect that?
But stop tell lies. Stop tell lies. You see when you tell lies and you continue telling the same story over and over, people just tend to believe it. But I'm going to tell you something tonight. When the chief secretary is having his conversations, I want you all to listen to him carefully. Don't just hear, listen. To debunk all of these lies that these people on the other side is trying to do to convince all you. You see this? Tobago's People Party. And Tobago is we. Don't be fooled. Don't be carried away with persons out there who intend to lead other persons with a bunch of stories, lies, make-up thing, all kind of nonsense. Making mischief in the place. Empty vessels makes the most noise. And I them right now. They're making noise because they have nothing to say. While we're looking to fix Tobago, fix the issues of Tobago, to make Tobagoans happy. Help Tobago unite. Get Tobagonians to love one another. Get Tobagonians to be godly amongst yourselves. Them out there making mischief, trying to bring us apart. But that ain't gonna happen. Because you know why? The pastor Ben say, when God bless a man, and God bless our chief secretary. That is why he's going to debunk all the lies that these people are going on telling us today. I got a signal, eh? I see you, I got a signal, my time up. But I want to use this opportunity also to wish each and every Tobagonian a happy, happy New Year 2026. And I also want each Tobagonian on January 12th, 2026, to come out and dot your finger. Vote for the TPP party. And you know, in cricketers use the word whitewash. We will give them a whitewash. Because we take on 15 seats. 15 seats from Charlottesville to Crown Point. Must be blue. It must be blue. What must be? What Tobago must be come January 12th? And you're a tall boy. What color Tobago will be January 12th?
You respect that?
Blue, blue, blue. People of this electoral district, I want to thank you all for your support. I want to thank you all for your love. I want to thank you all for being there for me. And I, Nigel Tate, will remain your humble servant for the next 4 years. That is my word to you. I'm going to continue to serve with dignity, with pride, with togetherness, with unity, and for love with each and every one. And again, I'm going to tell each and everybody in Tobago, come January 12th, 2026, let us all come out and vote for the TPP party. And we must have 15 seats declared for the Tobago's People Party. And Tobago must be blue, blue, blue. Go with God blessings. Go with God blessings. Go with God blessings. Tobago, Tobago, I love you. See that person say, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the mighty, mighty man. Brothers and sisters, you are reminded that there are a lot of items on sale at the tents, under the tents behind you. And maybe if you purchase them at the right pace, the weather may just simmer. So let's try doing some supporting of our vendors just behind you. Brothers and sisters, remember, the Red Party is entering into a stage of advanced desperation. They have been throwing things and they're not sticking. Their lagly has been failing. So we wait patiently for other signs of desperation. But whilst they get desperate, we continue our business. Tonight, brothers and sisters, I want to give you a quote about quality leadership. True leadership is widely considered to be a rare quality. While many people hold titles or position of authority, a significantly smaller percentage exhibit the qualities of genuine leadership, such as integrity, empathy, and a focus on empowering others rather than simply controlling them. Brothers and sisters, we have a leader in the blue camp, one who is not a boss but a leader, one who is able, even though he's not as big as Tate, but he as tough as any. One who is able to withstand the storms of all those who has nefarious intent to rob and deny people, the Tobago people, their entitlement. Tonight, brothers and sisters, even weathering or standing against the weather or taking a little drizzle is our political leader. Young fella, one of integrity, one who is able to lead brothers and sisters in a time when it's mostly needed. We bring to you Dr. Farley, Chavez, Augustine, and Dilecton.
For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing strong cause I realize the price little one must pay to keep the big one in paradise. This torment and misery all day. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the meek must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil's heyday. So they will fly, they will fly, they will fly, they will fly, they will fly.
Good night, Signal Hill. Good night, Signal Hill. Good night, Patience Hill. Good night, Tobago. Good night, Tobago People's Party. Thank you all very much for your warm welcome here in Signal Hill tonight. Please excuse my attire. I ain't got a chance to even sit down in my house for the day. From work to work to work to here. But we will do whatever is necessary until we get to January the 12th, 2026, when we seal up the deal again and ensure that the Tobago People's Party remains in government. I want to say that I thank all of you for the support you gave in the leading up to Christmas. And I know all of Tobago had a very good Christmas this year. I see some folks on the other side claiming that we give out 10,000 hampers. May know where all the hamper come from. But however many we gave out in support for the people of Tobago, because the Tobago People's Party has always been about treating the people of Tobago well. We are a few days before the new year, a few days before 2026. And, you know, Thursday we bring in a brand new year. And it's a time when as an island, when as a people, when as individuals, we stop, we pause, we reflect, and we begin to make New Year resolution. I know some of us, every New Year we start gym. Every New Year we say we're going to eat healthier. We're going to be fitter. We're going to see about our health. And then the year will start off with a bang. And after 2-3 months, you know, the New Year resolutions slip away. But one thing I want to tell you tonight, Tobago, is that the Tobago People's Party is a party that does not give up on the dream for making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. We don't start it and then we stop midway. We ensure every single step of the way that we are doing what is necessary to make this island the greatest little island on the planet. And we will not be distracted. We will not put our shoulders to the wheel and turn back. We will ensure we can and will deliver on that covenant promise to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. We started our public meetings on the 2nd of December. We launched, that's a Monday, where we launched, the Monday prior to that. And in and about the 2nd of December, we started our public meetings. To date, we have had about 17 public meetings outside of the official launch. And I want to start tonight by reminding you of all the topics I spoke to you about across these 17 meetings. Because when we come to our meetings here, we ain't come here to skylark. We ain't come here to even bother to bat out the opponent. We go beyond the pickung on our political platform. We ain't here to waste time. We are here because we are about the development of the island of Tobago. And I want to share with you what were some of the areas we discussed across these 17 meetings. Across these 17 meetings, we found time to talk about the radar issue because we know that was an issue that concerned the people of Tobago. On our platform, we spoke about national security and about Tobago's security specifically. We have gone as far as to talking about how the new arrangements for a much more autonomous Tobago will give Tobago and Tobagonians rights when it comes to national security and international relations. We spoke about the finished and the unfinished projects in Tobago. Because this is one party. We don't come here and mamagai you. We will tell you what we are able to complete and what we were unable to complete and why we were unable to complete it. Keeping it honest and accountable all the time. I spoke to you about our liabilities and the debt management of the Tobago House of Assembly. I reminded you that we took this government with an almost $1 billion debt and how we have been paying that debt down responsibly while at the same time funding the development projects for the people of Tobago. I spoke to you about the contracts issued by the Tobago House of Assembly so that we could fact-check those who claim that most of our contracts were spirited away to Trinidad. We fact-checked them and we proved that that was untrue. We spoke to you about housing and our land use policy and how we have been making lands available to Tobagonians to build homes and how we are going to continue creating programs for those among us who cannot afford to build or afford mortgages. We went through that up at the meeting in Mason Hall. And while I'm mentioning land use policy, let me be pellucidly clear. This chief secretary, this government, and this executive has not given any lands to any private developer down at no man's land. So let us stop walk around and tell lie on this administration. Nothing ain't go so. Let me be very clear. Let me pause to even tell you how this conversation even come up. A private developer, a private businessman came to the THA and said, look, he could help the vendors down on no man's land to ensure they have appropriate facilities to sell the food from. So they will get access to water, toilet facilities, and they will meet international health and safety practices. He offered to provide it to the people of Tobago for free at no cost to the people of Tobago, at no cost to the government, and he wanted to know if he provides it, if the THA will take over the maintenance of it. I said to the gentleman, before we have any arrangement, you go and talk to the vendors and then provide us with a proposal. The gentleman has not even provided us with a proposal as yet for us to even make a decision. So how we reach to them spreading propaganda on the man name, saying that somehow we sign away land and we're putting off vendors. If we have to put off vendors from no man's land, the first thing they will receive is a legal letter from the THA indicating such. And I'm sure no vendor, no proprietor in no man's land receive any notice from the THA that they must leave. So it is a total fabrication that we are putting out people to give one private person land in no man's land. And let me go further. When the wicked PNM was taking the land to build for Sanders, they did not vest the land in the THA. They vested it in a private company for which they call up few of their favorite friends, like Kamaua, Keely and them, and tell them that they manage it. That is how that land go. The land not even vested in the THA. So how can we give away what is not vested in the THA? Let it get their story straight. Let it get their story straight. This THA's land use policy has always been about how we provide the average Tobagonians with access. And we spoke about this on our platform. That is why people could go and get lands from the THA from our POSH program for $70,000. Where in Tobago you buying a piece of land for $70,000 right now? Where in Tobago you could get that? I spoke to you about that. I also spoke to you about what we have done for the people who were displaced by the new airport and how the former party that was in charge here was charging you big money for those lands. And this administration is now charging you peanuts for the land and saying to you, if all you could pay us is $100 when the month comes, pay us that and take the land and move in and build and rebuild your life. This administration did that for the people. And we spoke about that on this platform. I spoke to you about the cargo boat and what we expect from the Ministry of Infrastructure and Minister Jerlin John come January morning, because we responsibly brought the stakeholders together with Minister John and provided her with the specs, the scopes required, and we now have an expectation that the central government must meet on our behalf. I spoke to you about our social welfare programs and our protection for the institution called family, to the extent that sometimes now I walk in the street and people tell me, you're telling me go and make more children, you're going to help me mind them. Well, that's not exactly what I said. But yes, we're encouraging you to be fruitful and to multiply. But I spoke to you about the programs we have put in place, how you can get more on a food card now if your family is larger. The fact that the REACH program that was helping small businesses, we double up and triple up on how much you can get from the grant. So I spoke to you about all of our social welfare programs for the people of Tobago. I spoke to you about youth development and the need to go past tokenism and how we are supporting young people through culture, the arts, sports. That is why we buy the piece of land on Culloden. That's why we finish off the facility in Wim. That is why a panther being built for Uptown Fascinators, who at the semi-finals ended 2 points behind the top band. And we expect them to win the competition on the weekend before Election Day. I spoke to you about the Tobago Development Fund or Bank. And I spoke to you about how Pretty Penny refused to sign off so that we could get the grant from IDB to finish that program. But thank God we have smart people right here. And we have people with all kind of doctorate in economics. And they help us organize it. And now we have millions available in the Tobago Development Fund as we move to the final stage of rollout for that program. I also spoke to you about tourism and how we need to enhance tourism infrastructure. And I'll talk some more about that tonight. I talked to you about ecotourism, our support for local entrepreneurship, and how we should go about diversifying the island's economy. I spoke to you about Tobago growing to become less dependent on subventions from the national purse. Because I told you in Lambo, that if we are to run this island solely on what we get from the national coffers, we will never grow as fast as we need to grow. And that as an island, we have to begin to invest in other things and other areas so we can generate income outside of the national subvention. I spoke to you about rural development. I took time going through the millions spent between Speyside and Castara in the north so that I can show you that this government is not about a lopsided kind of development, spending it all in the southwest while ignoring those of us who are from the rural margins of the island. I spoke to you about our maritime boundaries. Right there in Boko, I was very clear in saying that we don't want any autonomy bill that does not give us autonomy over our own waters. We spoke about that. Across at Harmony Hall, we spoke about the infrastructural development needed for this island. In fact, we told you that if this island has to grow, we have to get our infrastructural development beyond paving roads, beyond patching holes, beyond box drains, beyond retaining walls. And we have to now start thinking big and how we get those big things done. Earlier this year, my wife took me for my birthday to St. Martin. And when I see this tiny little island, not even half the size of Tobago, the road narrow so, and you're seeing how the buildings are well built all along the coast, on the interior, the infrastructure. Them men are nothing on we. The island not as beautiful as Tobago. So how them could be better than my little island called Tobago? That cannot be. And I'm saying that the kinds of development we need in Tobago must be the kind of infrastructural development that when people come here, they must spray in the neck looking up in the air. We are better than just dancing barefoot for heritage. There's more to Tobago than that. And we spoke about the need to invest in big projects for the island's development and the island's growth. I even explained to you how that road going through Friendship is now going to facilitate the water park, not going to facilitate motorsport, not going to facilitate marina development, hotel development, agricultural development. And I said the road to development is sometimes by building roads. We had a conversation about digitization and digitalization, and the fact that we have systems that are tardy in the THA, and we have to flip a switch on and get to the point where we are operating optimally using the technology that is available to us. We live in a world with AI. Why are we still bogged down in a world with paper upon paper? Anything I have to approve must pass through 10 people's hands in one file. And sometime before it reaches me, they can't find the file. And sometimes after you leave my office, they can't find the file. And the file has to start all over again. And then you delayed getting your payments, getting your grants, getting whatever you need. And I said to you, we have to digitize our operations. We have to get to the point that when you apply for a food card, you ain't getting a physical card, but you can walk around with your phone and just tap it in the supermarket and pay for what you need. We have to get to the point that if you need some social support because you have children who are differently abled, because you have people who are not mobile and need the support, e-wallet systems, we have to get past you having to leave your house. As a matter of fact, right now, if your house burned down, you have to leave where you live. You have to find fire headquarters down in town by the gun bridge to get a fire report. Then you have to take it from there. You have to go across Government House Road. You have to go by settlements for one set of application. Go by health for a next set of application. And then you have to sit and wait on all these people to adjudicate on a case. And then determine how much support you can get. We have to go past that and use a digital footprint. So your house burned down, you don't have to leave nowhere. You beg for some internet by your neighbor. You sign up from right where you are, and you get through from right where you are. We spoke about that. And of course, our central theme has been about how we require a much more autonomous Tobago if this island is to go. And that is not just puppy show. It's not just a political slogan for a political season. If the island truly has to grow, we need our autonomy. And I made the example to you. I say if Grenada want in the morning to welcome a new airline, I see St. Vincent just welcome Delta. They need to ask nobody else for permission. But from the moment they start to hear Chief Secretary Farley negotiating with airlines, you know, there's civil aviation standing up. Well, I don't know who gave him permission to negotiate for airlines. Fast and out of place. Our future is still very much dependent on a few people, on committees and boards down in Port of Spain. And I'm saying we need to take our future out of the hands of Port of Spain and put it squarely in the hands of Scarborough. So I spoke to you about all of these topics. More than 17 topics across 17 nights. Because this platform is not gimmickry. It's not about trying to make a fool out of you. This platform is not trying to fool you. It's not about picong, and I know you come and you have a good time, and we beat drums and we dance, and the little wittiness might get you riled up. But this is a platform that educates the people of Tobago. And once you're a TPP, you're an educated member of the society of Tobago, because this party promotes public education and believes in the intelligence of our people. And so tonight, I want to talk to you about yet another issue. And it may seem like a simple issue. And it is the issue of transportation. Because I see some on the other side, they're saying, look, all they're doing is opening bus shed. In other words, trying to minimize the importance of such a simple act. From preschool, we teach our children that there are three main modes of transportation: air, sea, and ground. No society, no developed society can function optimally if we don't have adequate transportation, sea, air, and ground. None. It is basic. You fly from here and you go to New York. And if for one day the subways in New York shut down, New York loses billions of dollars in productivity and in income and in profit. You move and you go to London. If their oyster system stop working, and the bus drivers strike, and the tube organizers strike, they lose billions in dollars. So every country knows if you have to have a thriving economy, you need to be able to facilitate the movement of people by ground, by sea, and by air. We live on an island right now. The last flight leaves Tobago at 12:30 a.m. thereabout. And when that last flight leaves Tobago, anything that happens on Tobago, help have to fly in from elsewhere. We are not even in a position to fly anybody out. The help had to come from outside into Tobago and then fly back out. Now, I hold no brief for the People's Partnership that operated between 2010 and 2015. In that time, I was happily a teacher at Speyside High School. But during that time, I'm aware that the then Minister of National Security, Mr. Jack Warner, built a hangar down at A&R Robinson International with the intention that the Air Guard will leave a helicopter resident in Tobago. Government change, Air Guard mash up, nobody knows what's going on in the hangar, and we are still in the same place we were in the 1980s, from the beginning of time. And that cannot be how we build out a society that is developing. It cannot be. That cannot be good for business. And so let us massage this topic a little bit. And let's start with the most basic of them, ground transportation. Currently, the 5th schedule says that the THA is responsible for transportation. We currently depend on a creature called PTSC. Now, PTSC, when they want, they work efficiently, and when they want, they cause us great pain. And I know for some of you here tonight, you may not even have an appreciation for what PTSC does. But I want to talk to the people who still have to catch bus when the day come. I want to talk to my people who does have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning and catch bus from Shallaville to reach town on time to catch boat or to go to work. Because not so long ago, I was standing up right there with you, catching bus same way. catching car, catching maxi, same way. As a matter of fact, my very first sitting in the THA, very first sitting, is one of them small white bus I catch to come in town. Small white bus I catch to come in town in my suit, well dressed, sweating to go to the house. And for the duration of my first term in office, I catch transport like everybody here, like everybody in my district. So I want you to know it's not all politicians, as soon as they gain office, just look for the biggest ride, the fanciest ride. So we just stick with time. I mean, so we have children to mind too, and Pampers expensive. So we have to mind the budget. And nobody ain't gifting me no car. So I'll drive one when I could buy it myself. But the point is, PTSC is our main source of public transportation. We also have the maxi taxis. The maxi taxis, they transport our school children. And let us be real. The maxi taxis that we have now, they don't pull bull. Because they drop the children on mornings, they drop the children on afternoons, and that is the sum total of their work for the day. When the cruise ships come in, they divert their attention to the cruise ships, they make some US dollars, and then they return to life as normal. Because the maxi taxi drivers will tell you, the road hard. Ain't have enough people for me to transport people. And so, we are dependent on PTSC. I've said to PTSC over my 4 years, and there's a former board member for PTSC who I just see on PNM platform, you could ask him, because I raised it in meetings with him, that we have to have a much more efficient public transportation system. And it starts with our bus system. I spoke to them about the fact that this administration intends that there be a transportation hub in Roxborough so that people can transition to smaller, safer buses to go up in the hillsides to Shalloville and across the north side to Bloody Bay and Lansomie and so on. I spoke to PTSC about potentially putting GPS trackers on the buses. In fact, I offered them, and the former board said, we already have it in the works. We are already planning, and we're still waiting. The rest of the world has gone to a place that when you stand at a bus stop, you will see a sign telling you what time the next bus arriving. When you come to our bus stop in Scarborough, you have to look on a piece of paper that tells you what time the bus is supposed to pass. And you're watching your watch. By the way, this is no Rolex, eh? This is a fossil. This is not expensive at all. I'm just telling you. But you're watching your time, and you're hoping the bus actually pass by. There are many times I had to call PTSC and to ask, the bus coming today? Only to find out, no, the bus ain't going today. We have some mechanical problems, the bus not coming today. Poor people stand there for hours waiting on the bus. If we are running a developed island, we need efficient public transportation, starting with ground transportation. And so we have proposed, and you see it in our blueprint, that the THA will actually invest in buses. We'll put GPS trackers on the buses. We will ensure that at the bus stops have electronic tickers telling you the time the next bus will arrive. We will improve on the frequency that the bus will pass. And we will also look at routes that are not now serviced by PTSC. For example, the people in Mount St. George have been begging for the buses to come back up the hill in Mount St. George again. Everybody in Mount St. George knows most of the village live on the hill, not on the main road. And when I drop the old lady from collecting a pension by the main road, she have to wait, catch her next car to go up the hill. And so there are areas not now serviced by the public bus transportation system that we must now improve on and provide transportation to those areas. So that the bus is not just running the usual route, but the bus will run the unusual routes, so that all of Tobago can be covered. In fact, I said to PTSC, one must be able to catch a plane, land at A&R Robinson International, and from right there, take a bus to go to anywhere on the island. We have to go past the days of bus ticket. You still running down to buy a bus ticket, and sometimes the shop has no bus ticket, and you're hoping the bus driver that drive today is a bus driver who you know, so you could beg a drop because you have no bus ticket. When we live in a world where people could buy tickets online, you could travel on the plane by just scanning your phone, a barcode from your phone. We should get to the point where people could at least purchase a card that you could probably top up every month or whenever it's finished, and you just tap your card and go. That's the world we live in. Yet Trinidad and Tobago is still at a place where we're tearing a bus ticket. How is that accountable? How is PTSC really assuring that everybody who drive on the bus actually drove on the bus with a ticket? They can't. And the best way to have that kind of accountability and to see returns for our investment in public transportation must mean that we have to go digital with our outputs for transportation. And I'm telling you that the Tobago People's Party in the next 4 years wants to introduce that to the people of Tobago, so we'll put Tobago ahead of the rest of the country when it comes to public transportation on the ground. We have to get to that point. We also have to get to the point whereby we make public transportation on the ground much more attractive than driving your own cars. You must only drive your cars on weekend when you want to go out with your family. You must feel secure that I could get up, go to work, and I know I'll get back home on time because the bus is passing on time. We have to work on our productivity issue. About 2 terms ago, the then central government promised that they will put Wi-Fi on the buses. We're still waiting for the Wi-Fi on the buses. It did not quite work in Tobago. And that is something that we have been exploring as a THA. In fact, since Chief Administrator Ethelyn John, we wrote to DIGICEL, we wrote to Be Mobile, we wrote to all of them asking them to provide us in Tobago with a solution so our buses and our maxis can be Wi-Fi connected so that you can be productive even when you are on the road. It means that when a little daughter and a little son traveling alone, even if they don't have credit on their phone, they have access that they can communicate with their parents or their guardian. So it's also a measure of security that we have to pay attention to. You can count on the TPP to have that done for you in the next 4 years. And while we are at it, the Secretary of Finance is currently organizing to provide the maxi taxi associations, and there are 2 of them, to provide them with a good deal, meaning we give them some monies up front to go and get some additional buses for the island. Because we should never ever have a situation where a cruise ship lands in Tobago and people can't go on tour because there aren't enough buses to take them on tour. We want to improve on our capacity. Over the last 4 years, we designed the project to do about 24 charging stations because you know the world is now going electric vehicle. And based on the cost of electricity here, it is actually cheaper to run an electric vehicle in Trinidad and Tobago than to go for one that operates traditionally. Unfortunately, we were unable to get that project off the ground and get it finished. But over the next 4 years, I am certain that Tobago will have the most public charging stations per square mile than any other territory in the entire Caribbean. That's the direction we're going in. And let me say it one time, that there is no need for divisions and for the THA to buy Prados to transport documents and files. Buy some small electric vehicles. Let them move about town in that. We could go cheaper on the vehicles, cheaper on the cost of fuel, and we can now channel the monies we will ordinarily spend on fuel and vehicles to other expenses for the development of the people of Tobago. That has to be the policy of the THA, and that will be the policy of a TPP-led government come the 12th of January 2026. And as we move from ground transportation, let's move to the sea. Because it will appear as though no matter how we try, we can't get it right at all. Every single year, at some point in the year, there is an issue with the sailing. And it's a simple matter, you know. If Trinidad and Tobago is one country, if we like to refer to ourselves as a twin island state, then there must be public transportation connecting every part of the island and the country. So it can't be that you want us to be twin with you, but we can't reach you when we want to reach you. Just today, people complaining today that they're on the airport from 5 o'clock this morning and could only get a flight after 7 tonight. And why they're on the airport so long? Because the boat couldn't take me. Whoever boat not working, I had to put my vehicle on the boat and then come and try to catch a flight and then come to Tobago and I had to send someone to pick up my car. Why are we still going through that as an island? Tobago, you ain't fed up of that? Or you ain't fed up face that? Or you not fed up sleep on port and airport? And then I can recall when I spoke about that tent that they used to have, and if they still have in the tent, they're still outside by the port in Port of Spain, for people to wait on that tent. They jump up and say it's not true. But every Tobagonian know you stand up on that tent by the port in Port of Spain, rain or sun, waiting to catch a boat. Them days must be a thing of the past. We're tired of that. That is unacceptable. We have to get beyond that. And why is it we have an inter-island ferry system where we're not even managing our ticketing system properly and our luggage system properly? Now, let me be fair. In that meeting we had with Minister Jerlin John and the team from the Port Authority in June this year, just June this year. So I want us to be fair because it's just June this year we met. And it's only in April they came into office. And I said to them, I said, why is it I can't buy a ticket for the boat in Tobago that I have to use in Trinidad without having to send a ticket down to somebody in Trinidad and vice versa? And they promised that they're working on that and that they have the ticketing system to roll out. But this is 2025. Everybody knows when they travel on the plane, you could buy the ticket anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in the jurisdiction you're traveling from to buy the ticket or to use the ticket. And so I'm happy that the minister and the team have assured that they're fixing that small problem and bringing us into 2025. But we need efficient inter-island ferry service to our people. You see, what people don't understand is that when we go to Trinidad, we don't go to Trinidad for vacation. Sometimes we go down on Lime. Sometimes we go down and watch Pan. People will go down next year, February, for Carnival. People might go down and Lime with family over Christmas. But most of the time, when we are going to Trinidad, we're going for business. We're not going because we want to. We're going because we have to. We're going because we have a sick loved one. We're going because we want to have additional medical treatment. We're going because we have to go to school. It's a necessity. And so the efficiency of the inter-island ferry service must be critical to the maintaining of the union between Trinidad and Tobago. And when it comes to the cargo boat, I addressed that in good word. And I just want to reiterate that the stakeholders have already indicated to the minister and her team what we want from a cargo boat. And come January morning, that is what we're looking for. I want to also make an observation and notice some people, like they're fixated on the Carbo Star. And I have to ask, I wonder who was really making a money off of the Carbo Star. that they feel it have to be the Carbo Star and can't be another boat. Well, I don't care whether it's Carbo Star or Crapo Star or whatever they name the boat. We just need functional inter-island ferry service that provides for our needs for cargo and for human passenger transportation. I don't care what you name. I have no horse in the race. I want an efficient system, an efficient inter-island ferry system. And of course, when we're talking by sea, we have to talk cruise. Now, at the same time the oil spill took place, I had assembled a team. And a team of us, we were to go to Florida to meet with the head of all of the major cruise liners. We had Disney, we had Virgin, we had Carnival Cruises, we had all of them lined up with an itinerary for us to sit and talk with the executives, the CEOs of those cruise liners. I saw just this weekend that in St. Kitts, I believe it is, that Carnival Cruises, they are building the home port in St. Kitts. So St. Kitts is benefiting from that. And I'm saying to you, Tobago, I'm saying to the environmentalists, I'm saying to the historians, I'm speaking to every Tobagonian, we cannot continue with the port that we have. What is interesting is that when we had the very first Tobago Prime Minister and that port was developed, a certain gentleman who was in opposition, who was an opposition senator, said it was a duck pond. He became Prime Minister for more years than A&R Robinson, and he lifted a finger to give us more than the duck pond. So thank God A&R Robinson built that duck pond, because if he didn't build it, Tobago still would not have had a decent port. But what has to happen is that port in Scarborough must be expanded. We will have 2 cruise ships. Then when we have 2 cruise ships, the ferry can't sail. We have to decide between the ferry sailing and 2 cruise ships docking. And then looking in other islands, sometimes all 6, 7 docking one time. Them have the same sea we have. And what they did is that they went out, they dredged, they dig up the seabed, took out material from the seabed, widened and deepened and expanded their ports. They built piers or jetties to accommodate. They built facilities like bunkering for fuel. They provide for facilities like catering and agricultural produce to get on the boats, and a proper cruise ship terminal and duty-free shopping in and around the port. You know what is interesting is that I see some on the other side talking about things we already start doing. For example, we have already designed a bridge connecting the port and the esplanade. And we spoke about this before. In fact, we spoke about this at the meeting in Harmony Hall. And about how we will effortlessly connect the esplanade to where the cruise ship's coming in. And how we will expand the cruise ship berthing area, going eastward towards Bacalet, and also coming westward towards Red Rock. We have to do that. Something have to give. And I'm saying to all Tobagonians, we cannot want to have a vibrant cruise ship industry if it is we don't expand the services of our ports. And let me go to Charleville. And I want to say to you, Charleville, I respect your fears and your beliefs about your environment and the very precious reef systems you have just off the jetty in Charlottesville. And I understand, Charlottesville, you have resisted the urge for them to come and dig up your reef and to mash up the turtle nesting area and so on in Charlottesville. But there is a solution for that. And I have pointed to the example used in Port Royal, Jamaica. Because in Port Royal, Jamaica, what they have is a floating jetty system that expands outward when the cruise ship comes, and it folds up neatly alongside the bay when the cruise ships are not there. And why did Port Royal do that? Port Royal used to be the capital of Jamaica, but there was an earthquake and a tsunami that destroyed most of Port Royal. And so in the seabed is actually lodged artifacts and reef systems, and because they want to protect it, instead of dredging it up and mashing it up, they use a floating jetty system that is quite advanced, quite modern. It's not the kind of floating jetty that wavy like this. It's stable to walk on. And I have proposed that system for Charlottesville so that we can have the extension of the jetty while at the same time protecting the reef systems and the environment for the people of Charlottesville. I've also spoken to what needs to happen in Palatavere and how Palatavere must now become a hub to provide seaward transportation for those oil tankers and for those oil rigs that are about to pop up about 14 miles off the Palatavere area. That's how you do development. And it's your transportation important. And if we don't put these measures in place to improve on seaward transportation, then somebody else will continue to benefit. I had a meeting with EOG. EOG just received their certificate of environmental clearance to begin their testing wells 14 miles off Palatavere. But you know where EOG getting the supplies? From 50 miles away in Chagaramas. So you're coming in Tobago waters, you're testing and drilling in Tobago waters, but all of your supply coming from Trinidad, and nobody here could make a cent from that. That is why we have to improve on our modes of transportation, including our facilities for seaward transportation. And then finally, let's get to the big one, air transportation. When we came into office in December 2021, we had next to no flights coming to the island. And I want to remind people, because people will like you to believe that we inherited a tourism product with 5 and 6 and 10 flights coming into Tobago. When we came into office, there was none. When we were sworn into office, there was none. Because they shut down all because of COVID. And after they shut down all because of COVID, they reopened air transportation or flights to Piarco, but did not open to Tobago until 2022. Not 2021. So it was good enough for flights to land in Piarco in 2021, but not in Tobago. When we came into office, they were still telling us, you can't be at sea. Remember that? And at that time, we had a gentleman on the team who said boldly, listen, we're going to go out there and open the beach, and we're going to go and bathe. Let them come and lock you up. And he said that eventually came and gave us the authority and the rights to continue and to go back using our beaches. So when we came into office, they had already dismantled flights to the island. And I know and I accept that had to happen because of COVID. Nobody arguing with that. Nobody arguing with that. Before COVID, Tobago used to have between 22 and 24 round flights every single day. After COVID, you know how much we got? Only 12. Before COVID, thanks to the woman who is Prime Minister again, we used to have late hour flights. The airport used to open till 1:30 a.m. When we came into office, I was begging them every single day, open back the airport till late. You remember when I offered to pay the cost to keep the airport open? And them wicked people still refuse. As soon as you vote out Shamfa and Ayana, we got late flights coming back to the people of Tobago. That is a fact. They refuse. And that is what happens when you vote for the Tobago People's Party. You get performance. You get people who care about the island. Not small talk and old talk. And so we got 12 flights. And I want you to understand this. When PNM was leading this island, they got 22 to 24 domestic flights a day. Under my administration, until now, we only got 12 per day. And with the 12 we got per day, we have been bringing just as much domestic travelers to Tobago as they were bringing with 2 times the amount of flight, which tells you that this TPP administration has learned to do more with less. That's a fact. Check the numbers. And so for the last 4 years, if you remember, go back in your mind's eye, remember all the time you sit down on the airport and couldn't get a flight. Remember the people who cut the flight from 22 or 24 down to 12. Remember them and vote against them come the 12th of January 2026. Under the last administration, prior to COVID, they used to get a direct flight from Canada. That direct flight called Sunwing, during COVID, became bankrupt and was bought out by another company. That is why Sunwing not here today. Under the last administration, you used to have 2 flights out of the UK, Virgin and BA. This administration decided 1 from the UK and 1 from Germany. So we have the Condor landing back in Tobago again, and we have British Airways still landing in Tobago. And we have been able to successfully negotiate better prices, better costs for those flights, especially the BA flight. We also sat as an administration and we negotiate with Caribbean Airlines. And I'm asking you, I sat in those negotiations. We negotiated for a direct Toronto to Tobago flight. Caribbean Airlines decided at the time that they will do 3 direct flights from Toronto to Trinidad and Tobago. And one of those flights should come to Tobago. We negotiated how we will get the flight, how we will support it, how we will provide the financing to market the flight. And after we sign on the dotted line and send the documents back to them to sign, you know what the former administration did? They just take it and dump it in the dustbin. Dump it in the dustbin. Well, I spoke to the Tobago rep on the Caribbean Airlines board, and I was informed that the board is already looking at making good on the promise to bring that direct Tobago to Toronto flight by 2026, first quarter in 2026. And we must big them up for that. If the government did not change, you would not have gotten that flight. You would have never get a flight. And one of the things we have to explore is improving the connectivity by air between Trinidad and Tobago. Because while an international visitor might fly to Piarco, they don't want to fly to Piarco and then spend the night in Trinidad and then catch a flight the next day to come here for a vacation. Your vacation done spoil already. No, everybody here who travels for vacation knows that sometimes when you travel, you will have to take more than 1 flight. And you might have a layover. That is normal. But nobody wants the layover to be more than 12 hours. Nobody wants a layover where unsure as to whether you could get a flight or not get a flight. Who catching a flight to come to Tobago for vacation, landing in Piarco, walking up to the counter on the far end of the airport, putting your name down on a list just to buy a standby ticket, and then waiting and hoping your name get called to catch a flight. By the time you're done, by the time you get a ticket, the vacation done. And so this administration is looking at an option that was used previously, which is we from the Tobago House of Assembly were leasing some planes and running those wet lease planes for at least 9 months in the year. That will cover us all the way up to Tobago Carnival and a little beyond Tobago Carnival, from at least Easter all the way down to the Tobago Carnival, or to Christmas rather, to ensure that in our peak seasons, we can get the domestic visitor and we can get connectivity for our international visitors. We have already started conversations. In fact, we have been having those negotiations, having those conversations long in advance to bring to the space more direct flights from North America to Tobago. The rest, and I want you to listen to this, the rest of the Caribbean, for the most part, seeing that most of their visitors are actually from North America as opposed to Europe. Tobago is one of the last destinations that are solely dependent on the United Kingdom and Europe for our visitors, for our international visitors. And so we have to go where the money is spending, which is among the North American visitors, and get the direct flights into here. Because it makes no sense opening a new airport for 1 and 2 and 3 international flights. That's going to become a jumbie dance hall. What we want is that the new airport be a beehive of activity with plane landing every minute. And that's why I told you up there in Lambo that building a new airport and not creating connection for fuel for planes was a big mistake. That is poor planning, because the number of flights we need to push this economy requires an efficient turnaround at the airport. But I can tell you that that is something the Airports Authority is doing. I received a letter from Airports Authority last week, in fact, 3 letters. And in one of those letters, the chairman of the Airport Authority was writing to ask that we form a committee where the THA puts somebody on that committee for us to sit and work out every single detail required to get the new airport open on time for the second quarter of 2026. And we will ensure it is open on time in the second quarter of 2026. And that when it is open, it is something that you all can be proud of. And I can tell you, I asked them, and this is something that they're agreeing to doing another media tour of the new airport to show all of the things that must still be installed for the new airport to meet FAA certification to land international flights there. I want you to understand how important that is. St. Vincent a few days ago ran into some trouble because of pothole on their runway. And you can easily lose certification, which will stop those big planes from landing if you don't meet certain requirements. As my friend Hutcher used to say, governance is not guesswork, it's serious business. And this is serious business. And that's why in this election, I'm asking Patience Hill, Signal Hill to rally behind Nigel Tate, to stand up behind Nigel Tate. We cannot do this without your vote, Signal Hill, Patience Hill. We're not asking you to just vote blue because the color look good. Of course we know the color look good. We're not asking you to vote for the anchor because it's a better symbol. Of course it's an excellent symbol. We are asking you to vote blue because blue is the only party true and faithful to the development for the people of Tobago. We're asking you to vote for the anchor and vote for Nigel Tate, because it's only when you vote for Nigel Tate we can deliver unto you efficient modes of transportation across the entire island of Tobago. Ground, sea, and air. You're voting for Nigel Tate Because when you vote for Nigel Tate, you are voting for a bunch of people who have managed your finances responsibly. I'm hearing a man saying how this campaign looked expensive. Let me tell you what was the most expensive campaign. In 2021, them fellas take $165 million and spend it hoping to win an election and still lose the election. That was the most expensive campaign in the history of Tobago. This is the first election that you see a THA government running helter-skelter, trying to pave up every road, trying to build everything quick. You know why? Because we are insistent that we will manage your monies responsibly. And come January the 12th, 2026, and the days and years thereafter, we need to have finances to manage your development and to spend on your development. So we're not taking THA money to spend to win an election. We have worked for the election. We have worked for the victory. We have worked on your behalf. And I know come the 12th of January 2026, we are going to vote for all 15 candidates across the length and breadth of Tobago. And the Tobago People's Party, the anchor, will hold. And so as we prepare for the new year, I want to tell each and every one of you, the anchor hold.
You respect that?
We're going into church all year's night. It doesn't matter what the theme is in the church. We're going in the church all year's night with one theme on our mind, the anchor hold. We're going into church with a song on our lips. And the song is, will your anchor hold in the time of storm? We have an anchor. I said we have an anchor. Tobago, you have an anchor. You have an anchor. Safe and sure. Safe and secure. Grounded firm and deep in the Savior's love. You have an anchor, Tobago. This ship ain't moving. This ship ain't capsizing. This ship ain't going anywhere. Because this ship will take Tobago to the glory land. We have an anchor, Tobago. And so, if you're coming from Bethesda, Lekoto, you are anchoring your vote behind Zorisha and Mina Hackett. If you're coming from Plymouth, Blackrock, you're anchoring your vote behind Mr. Kern Alexis. If you're coming from Bethel New Grange, you're anchoring your vote behind Mr. Darren Henry. If you come from Bukum Mount Pleasant, you're anchoring your vote behind Mr. Keegan Dinoon. If you go to Bonaccord Crown Point, you're anchoring your vote behind Mr. Nikita Percy. You go to Lambo Lowlands, you anchor your vote behind Wayne Wasp Clark. You come to Signal Hill, Patience Hill, your vote done anchor down safe and secure behind Mr. Nigel Tate. We go to Scarborough, Mount Grace. You anchor that vote behind Trevor James. You go to Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, and you anchor that vote behind the mighty woman, Natisha Charles Pantin. You go to Mason Hall, North Moriah, and you're anchoring down the vote behind the man who shall not be moved, Ian Whitey Pollard. You go up to Mount St. George, Goodwood, and you're anchoring the vote behind Megan C. Morrison. You go to Belgarden, Glamorgan, and we have the doctor in the house. We're anchoring the vote behind Dr. Faith Bremner. We go to Roxborough, Argyle, and that includes Delaford. And Delaford people, Roxborough people, Argyle people, Louisville people, we're coming out in our numbers and anchoring the vote behind Orlando Kerr. We go to Wim. We go to Wim. Darrell Spring Wim. We go to Darrell Spring Wim. And a man who trying to campaign tonight over there, he don't lose his seat already. Because we anchoring the vote behind Mr. Ricky Jofield. And finally, we go to Palatoville, Lansom Space side. And when we get to Palatoville, Lansom Space side, you don't know, yours truly, Farley Chavez Augustine. The vote anchor down from up top all the way to low side. Nobody shall move from this slate. Anchor safe and secure for another 4 years for the development of the people of Tobago. Thank you all very much. Have a good night. Enjoy the All Years Night weekend. And Happy New Year when it comes. God bless you.
A week but I'm holding on in order to stay around.
Tobago people, remember, pay attention to your social media platform as we will inform you of our next meetings. In the meantime, sharpen your horns. Remember, your support must be transferred to a vote on the morning of January 12, 2026. And your symbol is the... Thank you, brothers and sisters. Have a blessed night. And we will keep you informed as we continue our meetings to educate, elevate, and emancipate. Good night. Thank you.